everything up on the show. So, what's going on? This is our inaugural episode here, and we are getting into it today. This is the managers, and we are going to be talking everything fantasy football for this week. Let me introduce everybody who's here. We got Squanch from the Six. He is the six because he gets TDs all day. He predicts them like there's no tomorrow. That is my man Squanch. What's going on? How are you doing today? Welcome to the show.
Yeah, man, doing good. Let's do it.
And we got the maker of Hail Marys. That's right, because he's bringing the chaos today. The maker of chaos, throwing those long bombs. And yes, getting the highest score in our league this week. So GG's to him. Welcome to the show, sir.
Hold your applause. Hold your applause. Nice to be here.
Hey, I'm not in the pool, so I'll let you have it.
Okay.
Well, awesome, guys. Well, let's get into it this week because there is a bunch I want to talk about. First, we're going to go over some stellar performances from last week, and then we're going to get into three matchups this week. Washington at Green Bay, Tampa Bay at Houston, and then we're going to go into the LA Chargers at Las Vegas, and then finally, we're going to wrap up with our picks for the week and predictions. So stay with us, stay live. We're here with the managers. So everything fantasy football, keep it locked in. Let's get it started with the end zone report. So last week we had some stellar performances, mostly from running backs, I would say, bringing up some big numbers. And at the top of running backs, we're going to have Christian McCaffrey. And I want to give a huge shout out to him. He absolutely did everything for this team this week, I would have to say. Squanch, did you watch this machine operate this week?
As a matter of fact, it's one of the few games I didn't watch, but I can honestly say no surprise there on both comments you made. I'm not at all surprised to see that C-Mac came out swinging, and I'm also not surprised that he pretty much handled things himself. I'll put it that way.
Yeah, well, we actually got an update on Christian McCaffrey. I don't know if you saw this, Maker, but he didn't practice on Wednesday, and he's now questionable. So big notice on that one. But yeah, he was on for 76% of snaps. Definitely getting a huge performance last week. Did you watch him perform last week, Maker?
Well, I watched his points. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, he was definitely getting utilized a lot, which I didn't expect, considering he's like questionable briefly there the just before the match, and so I thought it was going to be a limited usage, but it turns out they really wanted to use him, and they did.
Well, I hate to say it, but I think he may be questionable again. I'd have to check my reports here, but we'll have to wait and see. SPG is definitely going to be looking out for that one. But our next big performance, Josh Allen out of Buffalo. I mean, what a comeback at the last minute, getting almost 40 points for anybody holding him in his roster. Definitely the number one QB on the week, and bringing home a huge victory this week.
Let me just
Go
jump in
for it.
and say, after you said number one QB, that's where you put just a period there. You just leave a period there after that, and just leave it at that.
Number one QB on the week for points. So that's
I uh, I strongly believe that as much as I'm not gonna say he's underrated, not by any means, I've for at least a year believed that he is the best quarterback in the NFL.
okay. All right. So you
Oh,
think this year he'll finish number one on QBs for the year?
Well, I mean, he got MVP last year. That wasn't a surprise either. but I think what sort of bugged me for majority of last year in terms of people thinking it was crazy for me to say Josh Allen's the best quarterback in the league is people somehow still just can't seem to think that you can name anyone other than Patrick Mahomes without being a lunatic. Now, I understand Patrick Mahomes is a beast and he's got a ton of natural talent. But I think people have these blinders on still to this day, and I just don't get it. About halfway through the season last year, I was confident that Josh Allen is the best quarterback in the league, and I was happy to have seen the result that we did Sunday Night Football because it'll make people arguing my opinion a little tougher for them.
And good stats, good stats, good shout, good
Oh,
prediction too for the year. Maker,
I,
thoughts on Mr. Allen?
um, uh, Josh Allen, I think he is one that carries that team.
For sure.
He definitely has had some plays that the well, as we saw last week, he killed it. Like those last minute plays, he's great under pressure, and he comes out on top, especially when it looks like everything's against him.
Right.
So there's no doubt he deserved that MVP last year, and I'm hoping we continue to see that this year. But I think it's really going to depend. We've got a lot of changeups this year that have been ongoing with defenses and such.
Mhm.
That I think he's got his work cut out for him still. So
Yeah, I would say by no means
yeah,
is the season like a gimme. But having said that, they do have a pretty easy schedule, at least for the
yeah.
first like 9, 10 weeks. I could easily see them going like 8-2
Oh
by
yeah.
by 10 weeks in. I don't see that being ridiculous at all. I mean, his performance like 394, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, 33 out of 46. The guy's a monster. I mean, to come back with for 15 points in the last 4 or 5 minutes of the
4 minute.
game,
It was
like
the 4 minute mark. It was insane.
is just an absolute clinic. The other thing I would
Oh,
say
yeah.
about Josh is like, not to take away from any other quarterbacks, but a lot of other quarterbacks that are in the conversation with Josh, they have a lot more going for them, if I could put it that way, to put it simply. You know what I mean? They either have
Mhm.
like their team has a better defense and always has had a better defense, or they have more weapons, or their O line is stronger, etc. Whereas with Josh Allen, he doesn't seem to need any of that stuff. I mean, like you said, I completely agree. He's the heart of the team. He is the magic, and the team seems to see it that way too, not just the fans. Like he is the team, and they all look up to him. He's their leader. He's the one that makes them perform the way they perform when they do, which is often. And yeah, I mean, I feel like the team overall looks a little stronger this year. It seemed like they were gonna be, but then obviously now we've seen it. And yeah, I think we're gonna see a lot of magic from him. I don't think he's going anywhere, and I think there will be many conversations in the future, and many arguments as to whether he deserves the number one spot or not.
Well, I got a question for the both of you, and I'll start with Maker here. So I got Coleman sitting on my bench, racking up 30 points last week on the bench, and I'm looking to take Jerome Ford out. Uh, Josh Allen's going up against the Jets, and I mean, it's not going to be an easy game. Would you put in Coleman?
Uh, well, I'd have to see what else you got. I think
I
Coleman would
think
be definitely
Cole.
better than Jerome Ford. I'll say that.
Yeah, okay. So good shout. It would be Coleman, the triangle would be Coleman, Jacoby Myers, or Jerome Ford.
Ooh, I mean, I think Jacoby Myers is also a good shout. It really depends on it because if Buffalo dominates, they're not going to throw it as much. So, as well as technically, Ken Coleman's their wide receiver too. Uh, you could see Khalil Shakir get those catches. So, um, like I think they're going to dominate that game personally, and so I think they're going to run it after a while. Um, I would put him on probably on par with Jacoby Myers. No, Actually, I put him a little higher. So yeah, I'd probably put him in over Jacoby.
Oh, there we
I would
have it.
have to agree. I mean, I don't play fantasy, but I would certainly, especially with the matchups coming up, I would certainly expect Coleman to perform over Jacoby this coming
Yeah.
week.
Yep. Okay, well there you have it. Good shout, good shout. It's a bit of a riskier move, I will say, but
Mm.
you gotta trust the QB and
I mean, is
maybe
it though? What makes it riskier? What makes you
Geno
think that?
Geno Smith is a great QB in Las Vegas. I mean, he put up I believe over 300 yards last week and they shut down the Patriots. I think they could.
Sure, but the Chargers are not the Patriots.
No, no,
Right? I
they're
mean,
not.
it's not all about one team, right? I mean, matchups are a big deal. They have the fact that they're at home, they have that going for them. But listen, man, the Chargers are not the Patriots. They're on a completely different
No. Oh
caliber of
yeah.
team. And through the same vein, I would argue that Keon Coleman is arguably, I mean, not as drastically as the difference between the Patriots and the Chargers, but if we're talking differences between Myers and Coleman, I would argue the same can be said. I mean, it depends on the matchup, depends on the day, but I could easily see this week Myers being outshined by Coleman in terms of a fantasy situation.
I could see it go either way, but that's just because against the Chargers, the Raiders are going to have to throw it, right? And who they have on their list, they got Jacoby Myers.
Correct.
He's their
I
wide
would even
receiver one.
say something similar with the Bills matchup too. I mean, them versus the Jets. The Jets seemed in their first game to be very effective at squashing the run. So I would expect the ball to
Mm.
be aired out a lot more than maybe it would be if they were playing someone else. And it seems to me like Coleman's going to be the number one for the season. He's going to be, the number one target. Yeah, I would be shocked if Coleman didn't come away with more points than Jacoby this week, and that would shock me.
Well,
Yeah.
the thing with Coleman is that he's wide receiver 2 and you
Hmm.
got Shakir to compete with.
Sure.
Where Jacoby is going to be the number 1 option, and he was proven to be the number 1 option with
Well,
many
I'll put it this
targets.
way. I'll put it this way. Coleman was the number one target last week, and they played against the Ravens, arguably the best team in the league. People could argue that. I don't know if that's my opinion, but certainly they're the top three. People
I
could
would
argue they're
agree.
the best
I
team in
would
the
agree.
league. And so Bills going up against the Ravens, Coleman was ended up being the number one target. He got 8 receptions for 112 yards, whereas Shakir got 6 for 64. Now, I'm not trying to like say Coleman dunked on Shakir or that Shakir's fallen off or anything like that, but I'm just saying based on what you just said, it seems to me like he's stepping up. He just proved it in week one against a far superior team compared to the Jets. So I would assume that they're going to keep the ball rolling. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, right?
Yeah, I do think he'll probably utilize more based on how well he did this past game.
Right.
So he will be getting those points, and I think that's also partially why I would put him higher, just because of how well he did last week.
Yeah, for
Um,
sure.
I said if it's not broke, don't fix it. Yeah.
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 I mean, especially when it's not broke against the Ravens. Like,
Um,
what are we talking here? We're not going to make a change if it was effective against the Ravens. We're going on to play the Jets. What do, like,
I,
how is this even a debate? You know what I mean?
I did want to point out something though, Rue. Uh, you mentioned that Christian McCaffrey didn't practice. I did read that they said that Christian McCaffrey was non-participant practice on Wednesday. It was the team's first practice of the week, so they decided to give him the day off to limit his touches, coming off of a big workload on week one. So this seems like more of a rest day and less of an indication that he will be out next week.
Okay. My note here says so he's battling a nagging calf issue. Fantasy managers shouldn't be concerned about his ability for week 2. Okay, so you're right. Yeah.
I would
Mm.
expect my crystal ball inside my brain tells, or more like inside my gut, really, is telling me that Christian McCaffrey is going to take on like 60% of the workload for the 49ers this year. And that being said, Kittle just got injured. So let's say for the
If they
next
need him.
3-4 weeks, let's bump that up to 75%. I could foresee by week somewhere between 6 and 10, C-Mac is injured again.
Oh, 6 and 10. Okay, well,
Yeah,
if he makes
I
it
could see
6 good weeks.
I could see 2 months from now he's not playing because he's got a knee injury or etc. Right? So that's just what my gut's telling me, and that's not a knock on him. I mean, listen, Christian
He's a
McCaffrey
glass
is
cannon.
a freaking monster, but he gets hurt a lot, and it's not entirely his fault. I don't think anybody would fault him for what happened last year. I could easily, based on how the season's starting, what I'm seeing from the team, or what I'm expecting from the team moving forward, especially now with Kittle being injured, I could honestly see him it working against him. I think he's gonna do wonders for a couple games, and I think something's gonna go wrong on one weird play. He's gonna twist a certain way. Somebody's gonna fall on an ankle, whatever, and he's out for hopefully not the rest of the season, but easily a month.
Yeah.
But hey,
Well,
that's just the gut crystal ball. Who that could all be nonsense.
hey, we love to
Yeah.
make the predictions. That's what we're about. I think that is good. We've definitely done a cover of some of the big players of the week, and that is our end zone report. Now let's move on to our next segment, which is when we're going to talk.
Just real quick, let's do a quick honorable mention
Yeah,
for
honorable
the
mention.
king,
Shout it
for
out.
King Henry over here,
Oh my
putting in
God,
hella
Derrick
work.
Henry.
I mean, listen, we'll forget about the fumble at the end. I'm not mad about it. I'm a Bills fan, but what a game.
So here Squanch, here was my situation. So I'm 8th pick in the draft, okay? And in front of me is Saquon Barkley or Derrick Henry. Who do you pick?
You have both of them?
No. I had to pick one or the other.
Oh, okay. You're saying who would I choose for my fantasy
Yeah.
team? One or the other.
Yeah.
To be honest, I would probably go with Derek. That's not to say that he's better than Saquon, but I think he's on a better team, and I think they're gonna have a better performance overall by the end of the season. I think he is gonna have not quite as much of a workload on him as Saquon Barkley is, and I mean Saquon Barkley's performance last year was insane. It was phenomenal. But I mean, so was Derek's. Derek did an incredible job last year. If I had to pick the two in terms of fantasy football, I think I might this year. I think I might lean Derek.
All right. Well, nobody wants to hear that when I already picked Saquon. All right. I did have Derek on my team thanks to Vet. Shout out to Vet in the audience there. I rode his coattail and his points in the playoffs all the way to the final game. So I will give a big shout out to Derrick Henry. He is a workhorse with a great mindset, definitely on how he trains. But I do want to thanks for the honorable mention. But let's get the train rolling. We are going to jump into the games of this week. So first of all, I want to talk about let's get it going on here. The Washington versus Green Bay game. Big things coming out of here. I definitely think Green Bay is on a roll. I think they're definitely going 8 wins right off the bat, and no one's going to convince me otherwise.
Sorry. Can you repeat that? My headset.
No worries.
Turned
I
off there for a
said
second. Sorry about
Green Bay is definitely coming for the win this week. They are looking like a very strong team. They've got a huge defensive advantage, I think, with a recent trade. Josh Jacobs is looking strong. I think they're definitely coming for the win against Washington.
Well, I mean, yeah, if you want to talk Commanders Packers, let's go. I mean, last week Well, I'll start by saying this. I don't want to talk about last week's game. I don't want to talk about Packers last week's game because I am a big Lions fan. So let's just forget that happened. I mean, what can you say? Love. I mean, they got Michael Parsons now. Green Bay's looking great. I mean, their defense was good last year. They had some unlucky breaks last year, and they still did decent. But they've always had a pretty solid team. I also think. Well, I mean, certainly last year I wouldn't put Jordan Love in my top 10 quarterbacks, but it's looking like he's probably going to be in most people's top 10 quarterback list this year if things continue on from what we've seen for their opener. I would say, I mean, yeah, like no surprise, their defense is still good. They shut down Detroit run game all afternoon last Sunday. I think they held them to, what was it, 13 points? Uh, it was again, it's I'm getting some PTSD here, but let's see, yeah, pass rushing 39, passing attempts 4 sacks, 9 QB hits. I mean, clearly their defense is hard at work. They gave up 0 sacks, 2 QB hits. I mean, that's a big, and we're talking Lions here. Like, I mean, the Lions aren't
Yeah.
super strong defensively, especially with the loss of Ragnar, but I mean, this is still the Lions. What are they? Offense 27 points, 3-5 in the red zone. I mean, they're closing, right? Jordan Love went 16 and 22, 188 yards, 2 touchdowns. I mean, it was an impressive show. I certainly think they're gonna have a hell of a year. I guess to close out, I'd say Commanders. Listen, I like Jaden Daniels. He was super impressive last year, coming out of the gate. I will say they seem, I don't know, maybe this is a crazy take, but to me they seem to tend to like just kind of barely squeeze out wins late in the game often. I mean that's nothing to be like shunned at or anything like that, but it is something maybe to be aware of. What did Jaden Daniels do? He did 19 out of 30 for 233. He got a touchdown and he ran for close to 70. I mean, he's still putting in work out of the gate this year. I don't see any reason to like lose faith in him. That being said, 3 sacks taken on 30 pass attempts. That's not terrible at all, but I mean comparatively to what the Packers had going on, that's something to look at for this week.
They're two very
And
strong teams, and I think they're
I'll say this. I think the O-line will struggle against the Packers defense. I will put it that way. I'm not even going to touch on the offenses. I'll
Yep.
just say that. And I think that's going to be the deciding factor. I think that the Commanders O-line is going to struggle against the defense on the Packers. And my take is Packers win, I don't know, 27-20, something like that.
And kind of to go off on that, yeah, I in the Lions game, they held off like Gibbs, like no other. It was kind of crazy to see that they could not get any yardage from the
It was
run game.
wild. Yeah.
Which usually the Packers are less on run game. They're good on the passing defense, more so. And so seeing such a solid strength, plus they're playing a second home game back to back. They're not on the road. This is at their home stadium.
Yeah.
I think their defense is going to be strong, and the biggest thing that Washington has to overcome.
Well, we definitely have some choices here, so I'm gonna just go through the list. And if you had to pick who's gonna get more points, Jordan Love or Jaden Daniels?
I'm going Jordan.
Jordan Love.
Ooh. Yeah, I kind of agree. I think Jordan Love's going to get more points.
All right, now everyone's favorite, Krosky. Do you think Krosky now in the number 1 running back position? I want to say so. Big shout out to Krosky. Or are we going to see more work from Josh Jacobs?
I mean, yeah, I think I'm gonna stick to my guns and go Jacobs on this as well.
Yeah, Jacobs. It's just it's going to be tough for Krosky Merritt to get through their defense. Like if they stop Gibbs, they're going to stop Krosky Merritt.
Correct.
Right.
So yeah, I think it's gonna be tough. I think he's gonna, because Krosky seems to be like he's kind of like the bruiser, but Eckler, if you saw from their previous game with Washington, Eckler caught several passes on the game. I think he caught like one or two. I could
And
probably pull it up.
that's
He got
really
three.
going to divvy up the points that Krosky could be getting
Yeah,
as well, because Eckler also is big on end zone work, where Krosky they're feeling him out, right?
Honestly, you could say Krosky is uh
he's a workhorse.
he's their bulldog, right? I mean,
Yeah,
he's like Montgomery, right? He's that style of runner.
Yeah, he's
yeah.
5'11", 210 pounds. He's big. So
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I would say Krosky is pretty much the Montgomery for them. And although, I mean, Montgomery seemed to do better running than Gibbs did last year, or sorry, last week against Green Bay. So,
That's true.
I mean, he might not be as shut down, but either way, I think we're all sort of on the same track here. I really don't see the defense for Green Bay being overcome. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, I think Washington definitely has the weaker defense, so I see the run game being more effective with Jacobs
Yeah.
on that game.
well, I definitely hope so, because Jacobs is sitting on my roster right now on my team. And he was last year. Every single week he produced above 25 points every week. So I have to give it up to Jacobs. He is definitely a producer of points. Even though we came up a little bit short for me this week, everyone came up short this week. I feel like week one was a disaster for a lot of all stars. Fortunately, Maker had none of those on his team, but uh,
I still won. That's all that matters.
well,
Uh,
we get into the wide receivers now, and Terry McLaurin, Debo Samuel, and Noah Brown. That is the force they have for Jaden Daniels. It seemed like Debo Samuel got a lot of the percentage, getting 10 targets, 7 receptions, 77 yards. He was putting up points. I mean, where was that last year? All I saw this guy was on the injury bench.
Yeah, I mean, I would just say, like, listen, the 49ers had a pretty tough year last year. A lot of unlucky breaks. It doesn't mean that they don't have the caliber on their team. They don't have skilled players. A lot of their players are skilled. They had a rough year, lots of unfortunates. But yeah, I mean, it was nice to see him sort of. I don't want to say break out of his shell or anything like that. I mean, the guy's basically a vet at this point in my eyes. But
Yeah.
um, yeah, I mean, it was nice to see. I don't know what else to say about it. It was good to see him active again. 77's nothing to flick your nose at.
Oh, it's great for fantasy. I don't know if anyone started him because of his
Mm.
performances last year. And would you start him again this week against Green Bay?
um, I mean, it's such a tough match. Like, obviously it depends on who you have. I think I had faith in Debo from the first matchup. I mean, they're up against the Giants, so it wasn't. It's not going to be as tough as it is
Right.
with this one. I had told Ray, I was like, why do you have Debo on your bench? And he's just like, oh, I just want to see how he does the first match. He didn't have the faith that I did in Debo. But yeah, he's a good player. I mean, as I said, he got some points. Um, I I think he'll be okay in a flex spot maybe, but like I wouldn't put him as your primary like wide receiver.
Mm.
All right. And let's because he was the biggest performer, nothing really to talk about the other two. But let's go
Hey,
over what yeah.
don't be hating on Scary Terry. Terry McLaurin. He's good
All
on his
5
flex
points.
passes.
Sorry, 4.7 points. Yeah. What's up?
Hey, don't don't hate on him. I had him last year on my fantasy league, and he definitely came in clutch in certain games. It's just it looks like he wasn't really great um
And do
for
you
this one.
think
So
if you would still have to put him in, right, this week, and hope that he connects across the Green Bay, because he's one of those wide receivers that you're kind of you put the draft spot up pretty high for him, so you got to play him.
I think he's also like a flex spot. If you have him, he won't. I wouldn't probably put him in a main wide receiver role, but as a flex, if you've got him, I'd put him over a couple like lower end wide receivers. But I don't say that like he's the best. This week's obviously not the best matchup, and so that's what you always have to kind of put in like put in your calculations when you're deciding who you're going to play and who you're going to bench. Um, this one's
And
definitely
listen,
leaning more of a
I would
bench this
also
week.
I'd also throw him a bone and say, they probably weren't utilizing him as much last week because there was no need to. There was
That's
absolutely no need to. They spread the ball around pretty evenly, I thought. I mean, Eckler, Moore, like they all touched it. Um, and there was really no need for anybody. I mean, Samuel was on a roll, and they kept it going. And who's to say that this week won't be the same thing, but swap out Debo and Terry? You know what I mean? And everybody else's numbers will look even, or whatever, even Austin, whatever. Like it's, I think primarily usually what you see is one guy ends up being target number one for that game because it was working early and it continued to work, so they didn't change the formula in terms of who to try to get the ball to. If it works, it works. You get through the game, you win the game, and that doesn't mean that the same thing's going to work against another team the next week, right? Expect change, especially when it's such a radically different team that you're playing from one week to the next in this case, right? So I wouldn't at all be surprised if Terry did well.
Yeah.
Go T-Man. Well, let's talk about Green Bay's offensive lineup here. We got Mr. Golden, Romeo Dobbs, and Jay Reed. And really not much to write home about last week. It looks like Jaden Reed got most of the yardage there at 45 yards and one
No,
TD.
Dobbs had more than
Dobbs
more
had
than Reed.
Dobbs had
Yeah.
yards, but points wise, because Reed got into the TD zone, he got more points.
Oh, I see.
So,
You're talking
this-
fantasy points.
this-
Gotcha.
So yes, you're correct in saying that Dobbs had more yards. He's got 68 with 4 targets and 97% of snaps. So that's something that's extremely positive to see. He's going to be on the field a lot. And then we have Matthew Golden, and I see a little Maker of Chaos name beside there. So he only got targeted twice, unfortunately. Was he on your bench, or did you play him in a flex?
I think I had him in my flex. I can actually double check.
Well, I mean, I can
I
throw
had him in
words of
flex, yeah.
encouragement. He caught both of them.
Yes.
both of them.
Yeah,
well
yeah,
said.
So,
That's what I
So-
like
For
is
16
accuracy.
yards.
I was upset because I had Ao Manor. Well, I had Ao Manor on my bench. Then another rookie. And he caught 2 out of 7, which is I was like, oh no. But still, the fact that he's getting targeted is a good thing. And that's what I'm worried about. Golden, he's not getting as many targets as the other players. So I'm leaning towards benching him this week, just because it seems like Jordan Love really enjoys targeting these other guys better. So they have more opportunities to get those points.
Yeah, and that's where you want to go, is who's getting the target share. And that may be looking more like Jaden Reed and the Dobbs. But we will see. And what you want to see is that end zone work. And if Jaden Reed is working for end zones, then that's where to go. What do you guys feel about the defense going head to head against each other? I mean, Washington comes from a number 8 defense ranked, and Green Bay is a number 9 defense ranked, so they're very tight. What do you
I
think
would say
we'll
that's I would say pish posh to that. I think the Packers have
yeah.
a better defense.
see? Because
Oh
of
yeah,
Parsons?
especially with Micah Parsons.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's a huge addition. I mean, and the guy's flexible, right? He can move around like in terms of position, right? Like they can put him where they need him, and he will be the game changer on the line. He's proven that. Like that's not even a question. So yeah, I think reverse those numbers if anything. If not, change them completely.
Well, I think it's a bigger gap. Like
Yeah, that's what I mean. 8-9. It's
Yeah.
more like maybe like 6-9 now.
Yeah, it does feel like that. I would even say Packers defense, I think, is closer to within the top 5 maybe right now,
Yeah, yeah.
just because of how
Yeah.
how well they played last game. It looks so clean.
I mean, if we see that again this week, I think I think they're probably top 5.
Yeah.
Well, there you have
Well,
it.
what
So,
about Monday night? What's going on Monday night?
well, we got two head-to-head matchups on Monday. Thanks for bringing that up. And let's get to it. The first one I want to talk about is Tampa Bay at
Okay.
in Houston. And what I have to say first off the bat is historically, that's right, I'm bringing out the historical facts.
They've
These
only
two,
beat them once.
yeah, thanks for beating me to the punch.
Sorry. Sorry.
So
Oh, you get
historically,
quiet.
these two teams have played each other 6 times. In the past 5 times, guess who's won? That's the Texans, the Houston Texans. They have won 5 times,
In a
and the
row.
last
In a
five
row.
times. So,
Wild.
will Mr. Mayfield on his new hot streak, because he is hot right now, is he going to be able to do it? Is he going to be
I don't
able
know
to
about
conquer?
I don't know about the word new. I would take the word new out of there. I mean, the guy was fantastic last year too.
No, I mean that's where he's coming from. His high off of last year. Hey, if you're
Sure.
watching this stream right now, I am wearing a Mayfield jersey. So I
Oh,
give
okay.
I give my
Gotcha.
props
All
to
right.
Mayfield.
Okay, okay. Well, I would say, listen, first thing I'd say is Bucks were cutting it a little close last week. They're cutting it a little close.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
they
what
were.
are we talking here?
Well,
Listen, that was,
that
I
was
didn't.
Falcons game, and
That
it,
was,
as
yeah. I mean, that should have been an OT game. They didn't win as much as Atlanta lost. I'll say
well,
that, which is disappointing because I personally I think it's clear cut. Bucks are better.
yeah, it was easily just it was so frustrating because it was one of the best situations for Atlanta to push it into overtime,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
they failed it. And that's what Atlanta does. As someone from Georgia, I'm used to them fumbling the bag right at the end. So
Well, I mean, Tampa didn't. I mean, Tampa kind of made it hard for them to do that. I'll
it's
honestly say
true.
I don't like saying that, but I mean, their defense was definitely leaving something to be desired. I mean, they gave up like I swear like about 300 yards to Penix, and I'm pretty sure he got a TD as well.
Yeah,
Like I'll say this: Tampa did a half decent job containing running back Robinson.
Bijan. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, they did a half decent job at containing him. So it'll be interesting to see how they deal with Nick Chubb. Because I mean, I definitely would say Chubb's better than Robinson, but so that'll be an interesting thing to watch
that's
play
a hot
out.
take.
Yeah, well, that's my opinion.
Whoa.
That's my opinion. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
But I mean, listen, Baker still threw for 3 touchdowns, no picks. I mean,
Yeah.
the guy is very
Yeah.
good. The team didn't
And
play
he
as good
rushed
as they should
39
have, but
yards. Didn't
there you
he
go.
rush more than Irving?
Look, I'll say Baker is a top 10 in my books. He's a top 10 quarterback on my list. He's
Yeah.
comfortable under pressure. He certainly looked like he was
And
comfortable
Ray, if
in
you're
utter
watching,
chaos last
screw
week.
you for picking him right before me. All right, screw you, Ray.
That was
Well,
funny.
I mean, yeah, he was under pressure a lot of the time last week. I think he got sacked once, I believe. Um, that speaks to Tampa's O
Uh,
line
yeah,
again, like I was
he,
saying.
he
Go ahead.
did get a sack for 8 yards.
Yeah, okay, I thought so. Dude, I mean, beautiful dime pass to Buka. His first,
Oh yeah,
I think that was his first
Abuka
NFL
receiving,
touchdown.
yeah,
And
6
then, and
targets, 4
yeah, in the second
receptions.
quarter,
So
well, he
did he
got the
get
so
two
he threw him the touchdown
touchdowns?
in the second. Yeah, he threw him the first touchdown in the second quarter. It was a beaut, and then the two met again. I think I want to say he was around 70 yards or something by the end with 2 touchdowns.
yep.
And Abuka right there, that is. Um, Mike Evans, I mean, it wasn't stellar, but let's see, what do we got? 8 targets, 5 receptions, went for 51. I mean, all right, okay. Shepard had 39 yards. Not really much from anybody else. Like it wasn't a stellar game from them by any means, but I definitely still stick to my guns and say I certainly think they're a better team than Atlanta. Bucky Irving, he didn't really get much either. What is it? 14 carries, 37 yards. That's like less
Yeah.
than 3 yards per
You know what's
run.
crazy is that Baker had more rushing yards than Irving.
Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
that's not crazy. That's not crazy if you think about it. I mean, like Baker is a very skilled quarterback. Like I said, I mean I have him on my top 10. He can use his feet. He can use his feet. And yeah, he got like 40 yards or something, right? But I think I'm forgetting the key point here, which is the upcoming game, right? Houston.
Mm.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think I'm alone. I think they're expected to be one of like the best defensive teams in the league this year. Time will tell, but I think that is the general consensus. They only gave
Oh,
up 14 points against the Rams.
yeah, I think they're about top 10-ish, like
Yeah.
defenses. They're
Yeah.
in the topper echelon.
Sleeper
Um,
ranks them as number 14, which I
Well,
think
listen,
14.
I'll
is
say only giving up 14 points against the Rams. The Rams are going to be a beast this year. The Rams are
Yeah,
not
they had
playing around.
3
Go ahead.
sacks, a forced fumble. Yeah,
Mm.
that's. I think
I think
that
Anderson got one
attests
of
to
those
it.
sacks too, right?
yeah, I mean,
Uh,
Houston has always been known as one of the top 5 defenses, and getting
Huh.
the 3 sacks and 6 QB hits last is definitely they gotta protect Maker or Baker, sorry.
Baker.
yeah, protect
This
me.
week. um, because their run defense definitely stunted Kyrene Williams.
Yeah, the
And
problems is they're a little weak on the pass defense though. I
yeah,
mean, they gave up 245,
and
no interceptions at all.
and
Like,
Baker's no stranger to throwing, and that's what you have to debate here are they going to use Ibuka for more red zone work, or are you still safe to keep Evans in because he got more
yeah.
targets?
All right. Also,
Um,
oh, go ahead. Yeah.
oh yeah, I was gonna say I think like Mike Evans is a fantastic wide receiver. If you got him, I would put him in a main wide receiver spot.
Would you say Ibuka is definitely looking for a flex spot then this week if you have him? Because
Um,
Baker, not Maker, is going to be throwing a lot if Houston's run defense is going to be on point.
Yeah, he's gonna be airing it out.
So-
He's definitely gonna be airing it out.
yeah, so like I would put Mike Evans and Egbuka. I would put Mike Evans a little bit over Egbuka just because Mike Evans is
Correct.
seeing more of the targets. The higher targets you get, the higher chance you are going to get that touchdown. You're going to get those extra points.
There's no way Ibuka has as good of a game as he did last week. That's just not happening.
It's tough. I think he would still be a good flex spot. And if it is as you say, where
Here's-
the run game's going to be tougher
Yeah.
against the Texans, they will be throwing it more. So it's going to
Here's
be
a
there.
good question. Ibuka or Coleman for your flex if you had to make a choice?
Based on the matchups. Who are the Jets? Coleman. I'd go Coleman.
Yep, same.
Yeah. All right. Good. I'm taking note.
I
All
mean,
right.
but like, yeah, just like closing out on Houston. I mean, I don't know. I mean, their offense was looking a little bit weak. 9 points, no touchdowns. That was a little disappointing to see, if I'm being honest. And I like
Yep.
Stroud. I think he's got it. I think he's got the spark. You know what I mean? But seeing 9 points, no touchdowns in his opener, that was a little deflating, in my opinion. Their O line was looking a little weak. Again, just my opinion. They were
Mhm.
under constant pressure last week. They took a couple
Yeah.
of sacks. They didn't look like they were locked in. You know what I mean? Other than that, I think I would expect Collins to have a big game. I mean, if you guys want to talk like fantasy stuff. I would expect if anybody has Collins, I think he'll have a big impact this week. They intentionally underutilized him last week. I do not think that'll be the case going into this week. So whoever has Collins in their lineup, I would suggest throwing him on. I would
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
say my
What
takeaway.
do you think
I
about
do think.
Higgins? Because people are disappointed about Higgins' performance.
Go ahead. I feel like I'm talking too much. I don't want to.
no. Well, I was gonna say I think Jaden Higgins he's a solid. He's more of a flex spot though. Like to me, Nico Collins will be the target on that game, and so he is a must start. Whereas like to me, Jaden Higgins, he I think he'll get targets. He's just not going to get. He'll be a tough choice on your flex spot, I would
Yeah.
say.
Yeah, you'd have to be vet desperate to put him in. That's for sure.
I mean,
Uh,
all that being said, though, I do strangely think it's this might be a hot take, and I don't even like the fact that I'm thinking this, and this is what my gut is telling me. I actually wish it was the other way around, but for whatever reason, I actually think Houston's gonna walk away with the win this weekend. But it's going to be hella close. I mean, it's going to be like a 24-23. I don't think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I think, again, it's defensive game's going to make the difference, and I think it's going to be neck and neck. Very little scoring, like in terms of touchdowns, very few. Probably something like 24-23, 24-20, something like that.
Yeah.
Maker,
Well, I do definitely think
what's your thoughts
Yeah.
on this one?
I think it's going to be tough. I mean, it is going to be a battle of the Bucks offense. Like I do think that they do have really good like wide receivers. Egbuka and Evans are really good, and I just think the Texans offense isn't as strong. But as you said, the defense is there. So yeah, it's going to be a battle. Who's going to win is it's a tough choice.
I think Chubb is a strong performer, and I think Tampa may give up a bit on their running defense. So I think that's where we'll see
Yeah.
the Texans make some movement, I think, on their offensive play.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, they did a half decent job against Bijan Robinson last week, but I do think
Yeah.
Nick Chubb. It'll be interesting to see how they handle Nick Chubb. I think maybe my opinion on Chubb is a little different than most people, but I do think, given what we saw on how they handled Bijan, I think it'll be an interesting watch to see what they do with Chubb.
Yeah, my only thing with Chubb, I would say, is we didn't really see him on like the receiving end, so he didn't do many catching. Whereas I feel like Irving on the other side with the Bucks, as he's a bit more versatile. He was able to get 4 targets, 4 receives in terms of catches on his game. So I lean more of like I think Irving's a little bit better of a running back. He's more utility than
But
Nick
again,
Chubb.
going up against Houston,
Yeah, it's gonna be
I
tough.
don't know.
Yeah,
I don't
you're
know.
right.
You know,
I think
I don't
I
know.
think that
It's
versatility
tough
might
to
help
play
them.
these running backs, honestly, in this game.
Listen, when you're dealing with a defensive team,
Yeah,
it's just ground game is going to be a lot less effective. It's just
Mm.
simple, it's straightforward. Doesn't matter how good you. I mean, look at what the Packers did to Detroit last week.
they shut him
It
down.
was
Yeah,
insane to see.
Yeah.
I
but at the
mean,
same
it's
time,
just the reality of the game.
I wouldn't put the Texans on that same level though, and
No,
so
no,
that's
no,
where
no.
I do feel like you were
Yeah,
gonna see
I didn't mean to make
some running
that
back
kind of
splits.
comparison. Sorry if that
Yeah.
was confusing to any
No,
listeners
you,
or anything. But just to make the point of,
Yeah.
a good defense's effect on ground game. It's a big deal, you know?
It is.
Well, thank you for your insight there. But let's move on to the next game we got going on, and that is Vegas and the Chargers. So again,
I got very little to say on this game. Very little to
what?
say.
Okay, I'm giving it up for Vegas. I think they're gonna do something this year. I think last year they didn't do well, but this year I think they're putting up big numbers. They got Brock Bowers.
Who's questionable?
Geno Smith 362 yards.
Okay, all right, hang on. Okay, I have very little to say, so I'm just gonna let me just dump mine out, and then I just wanna. I'm more interested to hear the two of you
Yeah.
on this one. So here's my take. Listen, obviously, early season statement made with Herbert and the Chargers knocking the sense out of the Chiefs in Rio. Was loved to see it, and me personally. But here's my thing. Everyone's probably thinking like, oh, they beat Drake May and the Pats. They must be better than expected this year. I don't buy it. Like, yes, the defense seems decent, but I do not see Geno Smith and the Raiders offense being much of a threat to any of the big fish in the pond. And I do not see them holding Justin Herbert and the Chargers back at all. I mean,
Yeah, I feel the same way.
I, what else can I say? I could say, okay, Lad McConkey, 9 targets, 6 receptions, 74 yards. Keenan Allen, 10 targets, 7 receptions, 68 yards with a
Yep.
touchdown. Justin Herbert finished with 318 yards and 3 touchdowns against the Chiefs. Just, we're talking
Hey,
about Vegas here. Like,
yeah.
I mean, pass rushing looked great. 39 pass attempts, 2 sacks, 8 QB hits. Again, against the Chiefs. Najee Harris will have a big game. Anyone tells you different, they're crazy. He only had 1 carry last week, but you are damn sure going to be seeing a lot more of him this week. That is for sure. And then, I
You
think
don't
Keenan
think
Allen's going to have another
Hampton?
big game this year too.
You don't think Hampton will get the
I think
majority of the work?
I think this Monday it's going to be Najee and Keenan lighting it up. And I say Chargers win 27-21, something like that. Maybe even like 27-17.
I mean, I think Hampton has got like 80% of snaps last week, 15 carries, 48 yards. He was their main guy. I mean, they gave it to Najee once.
Yes, exactly. You think they're going to do that again?
I think I kind of agree that we are going to see a little bit more of Najee Harris, but I think it's mostly due to I think they're going to be allowed that freedom to utilize Najee. Amari Hampton's great for. I mean, he's a big guy,
Yeah.
6 foot, 220. He's a rookie. He's healthy. You send him out there to push the line. You're trying to move up. And he does that job great.
Yeah.
I
6
think
feet, 220 pounds. That's a huge
It's like
dude.
this. It's like this. If you're playing the Chiefs, what do you need out of a running back? You need a tank. If you're playing the Las Vegas Raiders, what do you need out of a running back? You want a cheetah.
And at the same time, like Najee Harris is 6'1", 242. He's big too.
Yeah,
Like
that's
they,
a huge dude.
But there's no way you're gonna tell me Hampton can move like Harris. Maybe that's just one man's opinion, but I think Harris can move.
This is when I have the soundbite. He's got the moves like Jagger. He's got the moves.
Anyways, that's my take on that game. I'll leave it at that.
So you're not far off from the fantasy press that says the Chargers coach Jim Herringberg said that Najee Harris could see a bigger role this week. So he may be an interesting flex position pick, but I don't think I would put him in my top 2 running backs.
Yeah.
But what about Ashton Genty? Did you think the rookie lived up to his performance? Do you think he lived up to being like what, top 5, top 6 picks in a lot of draft leagues for running backs?
I would say not really, not this first. It was a little disappointing, especially since they were against New England, which to me, I feel like it has a little better defense this year, but I like average of 2 yards per carry. He did get the touchdown, which was nice, but two receptions for 2 yards. To me, he wasn't as explosive as I thought he was going to be. So I think that's one to look for, and I think Chargers is going to be a tougher matchup for them to go up against the New England.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, me personally, I tend to not put too much weight into draft picks. I find more often than not they lead you astray, and some of the best players in history have been way down there on the draft picks. So,
Oh,
uh,
so what I meant there was a lot of people were drafting him on his on their fantasy team high up. So they were giving him a lot of weight and saying he was going to perform really well this year. And so I was just saying, did he live up to the hype preseason?
gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I mean, in my opinion, I think this one's a no-brainer. Chargers steamroll.
Chargers steamroll. So no one here has faith in the Raiders. Where's Kevin?
Yeah, I don't think
I
they're a
think
terrible team. I do not think they're a terrible team, but in terms of this matchup, no chance.
I
We're
do
in
think
Vegas.
Chargers
You're
are
not
going
gonna
to
gamble on the Raiders? You see what I mean?
I do think the Chargers are going to score a lot, which is going to force them, force Gino to throw it more because he's going to be trying to recover. So I do think that Jacoby Myers will get the targets.
That's a good
So I
shout.
think that's a good thing.
I
Like if you
mean,
have him,
last week he
he's a good
got
flex
10
spot.
targets. I mean, he was definitely Gino's favorite, with the other two receivers not making up as much targets as Jacoby.
You telling me he got 10 targets? How many did he catch?
8
He caught
receptions.
eight for 97.
And his average was 2 yards?
No,
What are we
no,
worried
no,
about?
no, Jacoby Myers. We're talking about
Oh, sorry.
Gentry was the one that was 2
It was
yards.
right. Okay, gotcha. Sorry,
2
apologies.
yards
Yeah,
per carry is, yeah, Genty.
I was gonna say, what are
yeah,
we worrying about here? Sorry about
yeah.
that.
I think Jacoby's going to be their biggest like offensive target against the
Yeah,
Chargers,
it's
and
going to be the
so
best weapon.
he's going to be a great flex spot. I don't necessarily think he's going to be even as good as he did last week, but I could see him get, you know, a good 60 yards at least.
You guys could totally be right. I could be way off. I certainly don't pay too much attention to the Las Vegas Raiders, so my takes could be completely off. But hey, yeah, just throwing in my opinion.
Yeah,
I just think he's the best target for them. You know, you got Thornton, who's a rookie, but I mean, he was 2 for 4 for 45 yards.
That's
I mean,
pretty
he
good.
could.
That's not bad at all.
yeah, the
He
next big target is Bowers. I mean, man's a beast. He got 8 targets, 103 yards. So it's going to be him and Jacoby.
um.
Is
Well,
Bowers still
that's if he
playing?
plays. He's questionable.
Oh, he's
He had a knee
questionable.
injury during the last game.
Keep in
Um,
mind though, I mean, the Chargers, their pass rushing looked really good last week. So I don't know. I don't see the Raiders putting up too many points this Monday.
we'll see. Yeah, Bowers is also. You mentioned Bowers. I think if Bowers does play, he's going to be a big target in the game as well. I don't know.
If
I don't know how
Bowers
many points he'll
doesn't
get.
play, how valuable do you think Jacoby's stock goes up? If Bowers doesn't
It
play.
goes. I think it goes up a little bit, but I don't think it'll be such a significant. I would then move him up to a higher priority. Then it would be a tough decision if you've got Keon Coleman, because I would probably swap in Jacoby
Yeah,
just because I know he's going to be getting a lot of targets.
yeah. I mean, Geno Smith throwing 367. Is that not big? I can't dwell on this for too
It was
much
a lot.
longer. I just
Dude,
see that as a lot of yards.
yeah, against the
It is.
Patriots. They're
They're-
playing the Chargers this week. This is not the same situation at
The
all.
Chargers have a
Yeah.
ranked defense as 24 on Sleeper. Am I not crazy? And the Raiders
just
have
saying,
a
Well,
ranked
listen,
not if you take in consideration the first week. Like they're week one, the Charge defense were better than that.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
100%. Their pass rushing was impressive. That's all I'm saying. Their pass rushing was impressive, and I don't see I don't know. I don't. I guess I just don't see what you see, Rudigs. I
It
mean,
just
I'm
was.
not
I
trying to.
don't see it as impressive as what the Raiders did. They
You
just
don't see the
moved.
Chargers smoking the Chiefs as
Chiefs, yeah.
being as impressive as the Las Vegas Raiders putting a mollywhopping on the Patriots? You don't think that's
No,
So
you
because the
like what?
Chiefs took out two of their own players
so the
in the first play. How good is that team?
Listen, yes, the Xavier Worthy collision was one of the highlights of the game for me personally. I thought
Exactly.
that was hilarious, but that's a silly take. Come on, brother. If you're gonna tell me the Chargers walloping the Chiefs is less impressive than what the Raiders did to New England last weekend, I think that's a crazy thing to say.
No, I'm just saying they got more points for
Yeah, but
fantasy.
it's easier to get more points on a team that's like 3 tiers below the other
But
teams we're talking about.
I'm also the perspective I'm trying to capture is the points accumulated for your
I would
fantasy
say
team.
Oh, right. You're always looking
so
through a fantasy. Right.
Yeah.
Through a fantasy
so
lens. Yeah.
so I would say the I think Gino could put out a lot of yardage, but at the same time, if Herbert plays the way that he did, Herbert also got over 300 yards
Yeah, he
passing
did.
last week, and
But he spread
if
it
he
out
can,
a lot.
Against the Chiefs.
yeah, against the Chiefs, who has a way
Like,
better defense than New England.
So there you go. There you go.
So
So Chargers have a lot of chemistry going on. And
yeah,
Justin
I mean,
Herbert's a machine.
I'll give you this. If Las Vegas beats the Chargers on Monday, holy hell.
Well,
yeah.
you'll just have to take that gamble. Yes, yeah, I brought it back. All right. Well, let's wrap up the game footage we got going on here, and let's get to the last part of the show, which is called the picks. So we're gonna go over the weekly picks, and let me just be able to pull those up, and we'll get chatting. So, what do you guys think? Commanders and Green Bay.
Green Bay.
Green Bay.
Gotta go Green Bay.
Yeah,
All right.
I just think the defense is gonna win out.
Agreed.
Let me. Why is it not? There we go. I got it working. Okay. Do that. All right. So we're going Green Bay. All right. Now
Tomorrow night, yeah, Green Bay all the way tomorrow night. Yeah.
we got Ravens and Browns. I think we can safely say that the Baltimore will win at home against the Browns.
I think that's
you
fair to
guys,
say.
yeah.
I think that's fair to say. Keep
I'm
in
in
mind,
agreement.
listen, I tend to steer clear of betting when it comes to divisional matchups, because they're a whole nother bag of beans. But nevertheless, yeah, I think that's a pretty easy one to bet on. If
Yeah.
you're gonna do it.
Same.
What do you guys? Obviously, Burrow and Chase against the Jaguars.
Well, as I was saying to somebody earlier, I don't remember who, but I do think the Jags are going to have a better season this year. I don't think they're as bad as people think they are, at least not anymore. That being said, I mean, listen, the Bengals are wishy-washy as hell, but they do happen to have one of the greatest QBs in the league, and I would be hard-pressed to say that the Jags are going to beat the Bengals this week. I don't see that happening.
Yeah, I agree. The Bengals are gonna get a lot of points.
Yeah. Oh, that's going to be a high point game for sure.
Yeah,
All right. Do you think that Prescott will bring it home for the Cowboys, or do you think the
against the
Giants?
Giants.
And
Yeah,
it
I
looks
mean,
like the Giants are favored to lose. They are away,
Yeah.
and they
yeah,
are.
I mean, I don't think that's
Well,
crazy. I would
well,
definitely would expect the Cowboys to take it, especially after seeing their opener. I mean, the
yeah.
Giants, their defense isn't terrible, but I was shocked at the Cowboys' performance in their opener, and
They did well.
I would be even more shocked if the Giants beat them. I don't see that happening.
They should have won that game against the
Yeah.
Eagles.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
yeah, it was crazy.
Impressive. Yeah, it was impressive.
Yeah,
I definitely would pick Cowboys over Giants, and there's really nothing that could change me on that one. Not this week.
yeah,
Well,
agreed.
you've just been given 2 tickets to a crazy zoo event, and it's the Bears at the Lions.
Oh my.
Yeah, the Lions are gonna take this one.
The
Yeah.
Lions are gonna take it, even after week
Yeah.
1 performance.
Listen, especially after week 1 performance.
Especially what
And
did
I want anyone who ever listens to this at any point in time to keep in mind the Lions have the most difficult schedule this year. Okay,
Oh, boo-hoo.
they lost their defensive coordinator, they lost their offensive coordinator, and they're still going to make it to the playoffs. The Bears are looking a lot better this year. I don't think they're going to have a stellar year, but they're certainly looking a lot better, and I expect better things from them this year than last year. That being said, the Lions are going to stomp them into the dirt.
I mean, the Bears
Yeah.
performed better than the Lions defense.
The Lions
Points-wise,
are going
week
to
1.
stomp them
Yeah.
into the dirt.
Yeah, the Lions are just as long as they play decent, they're gonna beat the Bears for sure.
Do you think they'll finally utilize Jameson Williams? I mean,
Uh,
St.
this week,
Brown.
yeah.
I
People
think
thought they
Williams.
were going to get a lot of points, and he didn't even
I
break 10
think-
points.
I think Williams is going to have a stellar year. He showed extreme promise last year. The man is lightning. He did very well. I think they're going to utilize him at least twice as much this year. I think he's going to have an amazing year.
I agree. I'm a little sad that I didn't get Jameson Williams in the draft. I think he's gonna kill it.
I think he's one of the most promising new athletes in the NFL today.
But I do want to state here on the show that steroids are bad. I mean, that's why he missed a bunch of games last year, right? Was steroid use?
I'm not sure.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
I had him
I'll
on my
stick with
roster. I know.
I'll stick with no comment. I don't know. I'm
I
not gonna
do
say
know.
one,
He was on my
something I don't
roster.
know.
I was turned away. I didn't see it.
As long as he gets me points.
Yeah.
Oh man, last year I remember watching a play where he leaped over another human. It was insane.
Oh, goodness.
Dude's crazy.
It happens. Yeah.
All right, so you guys are saying Lions. Let's move it down to the Dolphins
way.
and the Patriots. This is the one where I put in the Discord, and I put a poll up in the Wii Sports, and everybody went Patriots. Nobody has faith in the Dolphins and Tua.
Well, I'll
After
tell you
last
that
week-
this is the must-win of the week. Out of all the games this week, there is one must-win game, and it is this game, and it is the Dolphins. If they do not win this game, they are in for a world of hurt.
You know what? I make.
Um,
but Drake
well, I
May
think
really
he-
needs to perform. He really needs
think-
this win as well.
I think you're right. Because if Tua does another repeat of that, they're definitely going to be rethinking their quarterback.
And their coach.
Yep, that too. He's probably going to be out of a job.
And it'll cascade from there, and I'm sure Tyreek will be playing somewhere else next year.
Oh, that would. Oh, but that'd be awful though. I don't know if they'd go that far. Like Tyreek is. Well, he's also not doing as hot as he used to. But
Correct. It's also part of the decision is up to him as well, not just the team, right? I mean, is he really going to want to stick around? I mean,
that's true.
So, yeah, I think this is the one must-win of the week, and it is the Dolphins versus the Patriots. That's not to say that I want the Dolphins to win or I want the Patriots to lose, but I think if one team needs to win this week, it is the Dolphins.
Yeah, they'll definitely be fighting hard. I just have more faith in the Patriots and
I'm inclined to agree.
their weapons.
I'm inclined to agree. Yeah.
So you guys think the Patriots will win? You just think the Dolphins need to win to keep their jobs?
I think the Dolphins need it more. Yes. Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna give it to the Dolphins. I'm gonna take that gamble this week.
Yeah, go for it.
All right. Now, what do we feel about the broken 49ers versus the more
Saints.
broken Saints?
Oof. Yeah, I
49ers
mean,
have put out Purdy and another person as well.
Oh,
this is
uh,
one. This is one game
Kittle.
I'm not gonna
Kittle's
watch.
Kittle.
gone.
Yeah,
Kittle.
Kittle's out with I think a hamstring injury
Yeah,
or
he's gone for at least 4 weeks.
yeah. I mean, listen. I don't want to watch this game for more reasons than one. One of them being like, what is with the New Orleans jerseys this year? They look like boogers running around on the field. I can't stand it. Anyways, without saying anything further, 49ers will take it. It's going to be a pathetic game. I will not watch it.
Maker.
um, I think this is a tough one.
I'm giving it to the
I'm
Saints.
Yeah,
I'm
I mean,
actually
I could easily see it going that way, but
I
I'm leaning
I
towards the Niners, but you're not crazy.
I'm gonna be go against the grain. I think it's gonna be the Saints.
I think
I like it.
Rattler's
I
gonna
like it.
connect.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah, I mean I like Olave. You know, I like some of their weapons, and then with San Fran missing, I think is Jennings also out?
Jennings is always out, isn't he?
Yeah, Juwan Jennings is questionable. He's non-participant due to a shoulder injury.
And it says now
Um,
Mac Jones is likely starting week 2, so it's seeming more and more likely that
yeah,
Purdy's going to
yeah.
be out with a toe
Purdy's
and
gone. Kittle.
shoulder. You complete an entire game and then you get a toe and shoulder injury. I don't know.
So yeah, that's why I'm leaning Saints. There's too many injuries on the San Fran side.
I totally get it. I totally get it. 100%.
Yeah. Anyways, I don't like it because Purdy is my freaking quarterback. Anyways, I don't want to go over that. Let's get into the Bills and the Jets. Everyone is
Bills.
saying Bills.
Yeah, no question.
What
Yeah,
do you mean?
that's not
Justin
even a question.
Fields is
Hey,
the
that's
next
listen.
QB. He's the next
Me
hot
having
thing.
100% faith in one team winning does not mean that I don't like anything about the other team. It's just it's not that simple. It's cut and dry that the Bills are going to win this game unless something insanely unpredictable happens and they're like, riddled with injuries in the first quarter or something. But there's no way the Jets are going to beat the Bills. It's just I cannot see that even being reasonably or remotely rather possible. But that being said, yeah, Justin Fields, I was impressed with Justin Fields when he played for the Steelers last year. I was a
Yeah.
little disappointed when he was on his little streak there and they took him out and threw Wilson in.
Yeah.
Couldn't complain because Wilson, I think, won 7 games in a row, but they didn't look like the same team and they didn't do as well. They got wins, but they didn't seem to be as effective. I was pretty impressed with Justin last year, and he had a great showing in his first week with the Jets last week. I have nothing against the guy, and as a matter of fact, they looked way better than I've seen them look in a while. That being said, the Bills, for sure.
Maker.
Yeah, I kind of agree. This Josh Allen, the way he's been playing. I mean, they beat the Ravens. I don't. Are we moving on to the Seahawks and Steelers or?
Yeah, I just wanted to get your take on
Oh,
Bills
my
and
bad.
Jets. No worries. And then
Yeah,
Seahawks, Steelers.
Oh, I wasn't. I saw you had already selected Bills, so I wasn't sure if you had already
No,
moved
I'm
on.
going to
No.
Bills. That's my
Okay,
pick.
okay, yeah. I kind of agree. Like, while Justin Fields is really good, just the Bills is just stronger. I feel in the offense side.
How are we feeling Seahawks and Steelers? So Steelers coming off a win, Seahawks coming off a loss.
Black and yellow, baby. Black and yellow all
and
day.
you're at home. Pittsburgh's gonna take it.
Ooh.
It's not nearly as clear
What?
cut as a couple of these games we've talked about.
Maker,
But
what are you saying?
I'm a Steelers fan. They're at home. I was impressed with their showing. I'm definitely taking the Steelers over the Seahawks.
What do you
That's not
like
to say
about
that
the
they're
Seahawks?
not a powerhouse by any means. The Seahawks are not garbage, but
I think it's gonna be a tougher match, or I think it's gonna be a close match, just like Steelers last game.
right.
I am leaning a
Cooper
little bit more
Kupp.
Steelers just because they have a stronger defense, but Jackson Smith and Jigba on the Seahawks side, kills it, and I think he is going to get a bunch of points for Seahawks.
Sam Darnold? I mean, he's not that great. Fumbled. He got
uh,
10 points last week.
he didn't do so hot at the start, I would say, of the game, but as the game progressed, he did pick it up a bit. So I I do think they're gonna score points. I just it's just gonna be a tough matchup.
He got 150 yards. He didn't do amazing, and then he fumbled it. I mean, I guess we'll see.
Like,
I would
Ja-
just give it to the Steelers.
I mean, well, I'm looking more like Jackson Smith and Jigba. He had 124 yards last game against San Fran. Um, you know, Kenneth Walker's not good. I think Charbonnet's better for their running back side. Um, I, I just like their offense, but yeah, I think Pittsburgh has the better defense, and like they've got DK Metcalf. Even though Aaron Rodgers, I'm not a huge fan of him.
Hey,
'Cause he's
and
old.
I'm really excited to watch Jonnu Smith this year too. I mean, I was excited to see
Yep.
him play last week. I was impressed with him last week, and I'm looking very much forward to watching him hopefully continually succeed.
Yeah, I was a fan of him when he was with the Dolphins. I actually traded him last year to my friend to Ray, and regretted it because John killed it right after I traded him, and so I was a little upset. But yeah, no, it happens. You know, they
Yeah,
go
don't
off
make
and
trades the first 2 weeks.
yeah,
So,
he'll
how are we
regret it.
feeling about Rams and Titans?
Yeah,
Ram.
I feel like that's a
Rams.
no-brainer. Yeah.
Rams, yeah, and that's what the consensus is saying. I don't think the Panthers are going to be catching the Cardinals this week unless
I mean, the
Kyle
Cardinals'
Murray.
performance was a little underwhelming, to be honest.
Well, he
I
was
mean,
sick, right? He said he was
I,
vomiting and puking.
my
And...
pick is the Cardinals. I'll say that first. My pick is the
Yeah.
Cardinals. I don't see the Panthers beating them, but I was expecting a little bit more from them week one, especially since like week 1 and 2 are probably their easiest matchups of the season.
A win
Yeah, I
is
was
a win.
expecting a little. I was expecting a little more from them last week, but yeah, I do agree that they'll probably take the win this week as well.
Yeah, I think there's gonna be a lot of running in
Mm.
this in this
Well,
game,
there
just
better
because.
be.
Yeah, you with James Conner over there. I was more thinking I want to see Kyler Murray take a couple runs, for me. But yeah, I Carolina is easily one of the worst teams in the league. So, um, yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I'm expecting.
And how do we feel about my boy Bo Nix? He better get better this week against the
Yeah, he better
Colts.
get better this week.
Yeah.
Well, I think you're gonna be pleasantly pleased. I mean, I don't think this is gonna be an easy win by any means. My take is the Broncos come up with it. I don't think they're gonna have an easy time based on what I saw last week. That being said, I don't think it's gonna go quite the same way it went last week. I'll also mention I think pretty highly of Daniel Jones. I think he's pretty good. You know, and he's not alone. There's a couple
Mm.
people on his team that I think are, you know, noteworthy. That being said, I think they had a stellar game last week. They made a statement, but I don't think that was really all about them. I think a lot of that had to do with Miami as well. And on top of that, I think based on the, you know, sort of struggled victory that the Broncos had last week. I think they're going to show out in force. I think they're going to be a little bit more put together. I do think Bo Nix is not going to be missing quite as many targets. And yeah, I don't think it's going to be an easy win, but I take the Broncos maybe win by you know, 3 or something like that.
Yeah, he better be better than he was last
Yeah,
week.
I kind of agree. I'm leaning towards the Broncos, but I don't know. A part of me thinks like if they're on the role that they are, their rookie Tyler Warren killed it last week. Um, so I think I'm gonna go the Colts on this one.
I don't like that attitude.
But I got nothing
Listen,
wrong with it. I always
some
love
of us
watching
have
tight
Bo
ends do
Nix.
work. So
Bo Nix needs to do amazing.
I do need Broncos to win this one though. I do have them on one of my lines this week, so
Yeah.
it's not the end of the world if they lose. But I expect them to win. I think they will win, and I need them to win. So go Broncos.
You know what? If I was a betting man, which this is, I think I'm going to put it on the Colts.
All right, interesting. I like it.
Even though it goes against everything, it's just the Broncos' performance. They barely squeaked by. I don't know.
I get it. I get it.
And Colts put up better defense, but it's like they were facing Miami. How tough is that? I don't know. We'll just live with it. All right, Eagles and Chiefs. The Chiefs are going to lose twice in a row? Is that what we're saying?
Yeah.
I think
Saquon
so.
is going to step on over them.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about Vikings and Falcons?
Well, yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, yeah, that's a close one.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think Drake London and Bijan are really good, and if Penix picks up the slack and can utilize them a little better, JJ McCarthy didn't do so hot last week at the start. So if he's sloppy again, I think the Falcons are gonna win it. So I'm leaning Falcons just because.
I think it's Vikings game to lose, and if they make one too many mistakes, then Atlanta's gonna make them pay for it.
Yep.
I'm leaning towards Vikings winning, but it's entirely based on can they keep it together? I don't know.
I don't think Penix has it. So I'm going to go with Vikings. And they're going to be at home. They're going to be in the soda. They're going to rock it. Texans and Bucks. I think I'm going to go with history, and I'm going to go Texans.
Yeah, I mean, I think we went over this one already, yeah.
And then Chargers and Raiders. You know, before this show, I was so set on the Raiders, and you guys absolutely convinced me the Chargers will win.
Well, it's good. It's good to
good to
hear
grow.
that, some of those things are sinking in, right?
All right, and
Yeah,
I gotta pick a final score. We'll just do 42. Wait, can 42 happen? We'll do 44. I think 44 can happen. All right. Well,
I'm gonna say more than 44.
Well, this is the two scores combined.
Yeah.
So over under.
Yeah. I would say
54.
I'd say man. No, I'd say about 50.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be around. Yeah, I'm expecting it to be like 27-20 kind of thing. So yeah,
That's
I mean
57.
somewhere in the no, it's 47, but somewhere in the ballpark of around 50.
Yeah, because
I do good math.
And I've got Herbert on my team, so I need him to at least get 27 points for them.
All right, I like 47. We'll go with that. All right, saved, and my picks are locked in. Thanks, guys, for helping. That is going to do it for this week on the managers. If you've tuned in, you can find this show each and every week where we'll be going over 3 games and some big picks and some big things to watch out for. Be sure to catch us on Cloud&Console. Until next week, take care of yourselves and don't run into Travis Kelce. All right, guys. Take care. Thanks for joining, and we'll see you later.
Take care.
All right.
Cheers.
Let's hit.